Well, I had forgotten in the first movie that Grace, who's played by Sigourney Weaver, she's a woman, right? And she reminds me a lot of like anthropologists and kind of the history of US settler colonialism because she's a scientist. She's an academic, right? She's like the foremost expert on I think it was the ethnobotany of Pandora, even though she's an avatar, right? So she dons the skin of the Na'vi. She's like the friend of the Indian. What that reminds me of, and I've researched a lot of this history in relationship to like 20th century colonial administration for my people, the Navajo, and like anthropologists played. They were agents of the state. They were literally paid by the state. Like the state, they ran multi-million dollar, incredibly like huge state-sponsored research projects that were specifically designed to create the conditions for Navajo people to enter into modernity. They were literally social experiments. And like these people wrote some of the most famous books on my people and the Navajo people. They trained fleets of PhD students who would go out and do their field work and write their dissertations in these field laboratories, amongst my people. I'm sure this is the same amongst others. And so the reason why I'm saying this is that it just was such a straightforward, and I don't think it was ironic, and I actually am not even sure it was like a self-aware thing because I don't think James Cameron is that intelligent. And I certainly don't think he cares about native people at all, or like about a careful kind of analysis of colonialism and how he might portray that fictionally, right? In Avatar. I think it's just the common sense of colonialism is to think that like the anthropologist woman or like the woman biologist is the kinder side. And they even say in the movie that she's like the diplomat, and like this is like the we'll do the diplomatic thing where you go and you be friends with them, you try to convince them to leave so that we can mine underneath their home tree, the tree of life or whatever it was they were living in. But if that doesn't work, we'll just go in and we'll just exterminate them anyway.